Hello, welcome back to another video. My name is Farhan, also known as Gunner since 96, and you're watching another video where I'll be talking through our next 5 fixtures. That's right, not much going on right now. We got about 4 more days of rest. Was it today? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning we play very early in the morning. And yeah, the players get an opportunity to rest, to have a little break, a breather. The coaches have an opportunity to review their tactics, have a look at their next group of fixtures and see what we need to do in order to get the maximum points and guaranteed victories in all the games we play. There are some real juicy games coming up, and obviously today I'm going to be talking through them. I'm going to be talking about the chances of winning, getting 3 points, getting into the quarterfinals of the Europa League, the repercussions of losing games, and what are the chances that we get maximum points and wins in the next 5 games. So let's start off by talking you through who we're actually going to play in the next 5 games. So on Saturday, so it's not even Sunday, it's actually Saturday at 12:30, which means today, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 more days to go before kickoff. Not long left. We got Burnley away at Turf Moor. And then on Thursday, so that's another 4 days later, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, at 8 o'clock, we have Olympiakos in Greece. Ooh. We've been there, we've seen it all in recent times as well. So it's going to be an interesting one. And then on a Sunday, the 14th of March, so that's 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's literally 3 days. We got the North London derby at the Emirates at 4:30. That's game number 3. Game number 4 on the 18th of March. That's another 4 days later at 5:55. We've got Olympiacos at the Emirates to play the second leg of the last 16 tie. And the 5th fixture, which is on the 21st, 3 days later, Sunday, at 3 o'clock, we've got West Ham United in a London derby at the London Stadium in East London. I don't know if it's worth mentioning the next few games, but just so you know, we can, just for the purpose of talking about these 5 games, and what we're potentially looking at, or what we're definitely looking at in the league, but potentially also the quarterfinals. We're going to have Liverpool, first leg of the quarterfinals, Sheffield United, second leg of the quarterfinals, Fulham, Everton, then the semi-finals. It's non-stop. It is relentless. And I worry about Arsenal's capability in dealing with this group of games that are coming so thick and fast. This is really the only lengthy break we have until God knows when. If we make it through to the quarterfinals, literally you've got the 21st, actually after West Ham, we've got a lengthy break. So it stops there. And then we've got Liverpool on the 3rd, the 8th, quarter leg, first leg of the quarter final, and then you got the 10th, Sheffield United, the 15th. It is literally just 3-4 days of rest and then go again. What I've seen from Arsenal in the last few games is a team that is slowly developing into a side that is capable of dealing with these runner games. The relentlessness in the games that they play, the passion and the energy, the character, the determination shows me that really this is a group of players who are showing that they are ready to adapt for what's to come. And it looks as if they're playing with not that much pressure. I say that with a little bit of caution because there is a lot of pressure in the Europa League, and it showed in the second leg when we were down 2-1 and we needed 2 goals. They stood up and they got those goals. But at the beginning of the game, they looked like they were very flat, very dejected. They looked like they were on the back foot. And this is what I guess the point that I'm making is that the Arsenal that perform at their best is an Arsenal that play without pressure. Without pressure, they're really, really good. They're really, really tidy. They're really, really dangerous. But when they're playing under pressure, they almost freeze up and don't really know how to react. So I'm hoping that in this period, we see an Arsenal that sort of morph into a side that finally gets pressure and thrives off it. Let's talk about our next fixture. Our next fixture is Burnley. I'm going to do I believe I will be doing an opposition analysis video on Burnley soon. That will be on Thursday. So look forward to that. And we'll be talking a lot more about that fixture in detail, but just very briefly, going to Turf Moor is never an easy place. They haven't been going through the best run of games of late. They got battered by Tottenham. Arsenal need to go into this game with 3 points in their mind. They can't go in there with a relaxed mindset. They can't go in there with a naive mindset. When you're playing a Premier League side, it's always going to be a difficult game. I know we made it look really easy against teams like West Brom, Newcastle, even against Leicester. But when you're playing against Burnley at home, especially when they know they're playing against us, they're a different kettle of fish. It is a completely different sort of mindset. And I think football is based 75% of it is psychology. You know, when Burnley see their next fixture being Arsenal Football Club, they will have at the back of their mind the Emirates, what happened, how they managed to get the 3 points, and they will try and replicate that. We're talking about a manager in Sean Dyche who knows how to set up absolutely perfectly against Premier League sides to frustrate teams and to sit off and to play a particular style of football that we don't see very often nowadays, but works. And it's worked for them ever since they've been in the Premier League. But this is what I love about Arteta. I know Arteta is the type of manager where he can adapt his side to play against the opposition, played their game against them and beat them. That's not to say that Arsenal are going to play like Burnley. It's just to nullify any threat that they've got and try and break them down, because I do genuinely think that Burnley will sit off and they'll park 10 men behind the ball and they'll frustrate us and they'll try and get to the 75th minute and then to nick a goal. So look, 3 points is a must for Arsenal there at Burnley. And then we move on to Olympiakos, our second game in the run of 5 games coming up. And this is a game that I've been waiting for ever since the draw was made. Ever since we beat Benfica, there's nothing more I was looking forward to than the Europa League, progressing into it. And as soon as we got drawn to Olympiacos, the fact that we got knocked out by them last year, the fact that we had beaten Benfica recently at their ground, the script is being written every round. And this is a game where Arsenal need to go into and finish the tie in Greece. I do not want Arsenal to go back to the Emirates and bring the tie there and risk losing in a final minute in extra time, how we did at the Emirates last season, and for Aubameyang to miss a sitter. And to this day, I still don't know how the ball didn't go in the back of the net. It was the most bizarre shot ever. But look, Olympiacos, 8 o'clock, away in Greece, is another game where Arsenal need to go into with the mentality of playing their stronger side. I hope Arteta does that. I hope there's no dilly-dallying about. That's the second game. And then the third game, a penultimate game in every season. This is probably one of the fixtures that all Arsenal fans look for instantly, which is the North London derby. Arsenal versus Tottenham Hotspur at the Emirates Stadium. If we look at the league table now, if we win the next game, we are on 40 points. If Tottenham lose their game, they got a game in hand. Aston Villa have 2 games in hand. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that Tottenham lose their next game. I'm not sure who Tottenham have. Let me actually check. I think it will be a good idea to see, because then we'll be able to maybe write up a little mental image of what could potentially happen. They've got Fulham next at Craven Cottage. Now, Fulham have been going on a really good run of games of late. They have shown that they are dangerous enough to beat sides in the Premier League. They can play football. They have a good bunch of players and they are slowly starting to settle in. It's only taken them, 6 months or so, but they're slowly starting to settle in. They're 3 points away from getting out of the relegation zone and they'll be up for that game. So let's say Tottenham lose that game or they get a draw. Arsenal go into the North London derby potentially winning the game and then going ahead of them. So it's all to play for. That game is absolutely massive, huge. It can't get any bigger than that. There is so much bragging rights. I mean, despite the fact that, both teams are potentially not going to be finishing in Champions League places or might not even get European football next year, the bragging rights are always there. To finish above one over the other is always something both sets of fans look for at the end of the season. If all things go to hell and we fail in all of our objectives, the one thing that you will look for is whether we finish above Tottenham Hotspurs or not. And we haven't done in the last few seasons. So this will be a very big game and all form goes out the window. I'm hoping that Smith Rowe might potentially be back for that. I'm hoping that all players are fit for that. So again, this is another game that Arsenal need to go in and need to try and win. And this is why I say that they need to finish Olympiakos in Greece, because you can't bring it back to the Emirates knowing that you've got a North London derby. Otherwise, Arteta's looking at a situation where he has to rotate and play potentially his B team against Tottenham, who are going to be up for it. You're looking at a potential loss that could create a massive confidence crisis. If we lose to Tottenham Hotspurs at home, we're then looking to go to Olympiacos at the Emirates, potentially with that low confidence, and then losing to them. And if we lose to Olympiacos, then we have another London derby against West Ham. And if we lose that, I mean, it's not a very, very good situation to be in. So look, if we finish Olympiacos in Greece, we then go to Tottenham, play our strongest squad, batter them at the Emirates, I'm hoping, okay? And then go to the Emirates, not playing our strongest side, potentially playing a side similar to the side that we played against Leeds, and Leicester, and seeing the tie through. And then we go to West Ham with our strongest side again. And West Ham are another side who have been absolutely brilliant this season. They've been fantastic. And they thoroughly deserve where they are. They're fourth at the minute. They could potentially push on and solidify that fourth place, get Champions League football next. I mean, can you imagine Champions League football at the London Stadium? Hats off to them. They have a very strong group of players. This, for me, will be another interesting match. Two London sides, one side who has solidified their place in the Premier League, really looking strong every single game they move on, and all of their players are on top form. They have a really well-balanced side, and then you got Arsenal over here, a very strong side on paper, but not always able to replicate the results on the pitch. So, I think it all comes down to the Europa League. If Arsenal can get that first leg, that first tie right, and if they can beat Olympiacos 3-0, 3-1, whatever it is, go to the Emirates, not having to play their strongest side, we then can play our strongest side against Tottenham, against West Ham, and slowly try to progress. And if we win our next 3 games against Tottenham, West Ham, and Burnley, that's 9 points. Arsenal are on 37 now. I was just doing the quick maths in my head. 46 points, I think. And 46 points is pretty good, considering, how the league has been going at the minute. Realistically, do I think we'll be getting 6 points out of 6 in the league? Probably not. I think I'll be happy with 7 points. If we beat Tottenham and Burnley and get a draw at West Ham, I'll be happy. Likewise, if we beat West Ham and Burnley and we get a draw at Tottenham, that's okay as well. But again, it all comes down to the Olympiacos fixture. That first leg, that first tie is going to be crucial to see what will unravel in the following games. And that's not to say that our B team can't beat the likes of Tottenham or West Ham, as they showed against Leicester, who again were without some key players, but they showed that they're capable of turning up against big teams, against good sides, and beating them comfortably. So let's see what happens. It's really, really exciting. We're at the sort of latter stage of the league. We've got 12 more games left. It's all coming thick and fast. Well, you know, by the time the last game of the season comes, we're hoping to be in a good position. We're potentially looking for a trophy and potentially finishing strong as well in the league. It's all happening. It's all happening so fast, and it's so exciting. But I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and hit that bell notification to be notified every time I release a video. I'll be back again tomorrow for another video, and I'll be looking at some news surrounding Arsenal players, anything that's happening in and around the club. Fingers crossed, I'm hoping some news come out. Otherwise, tomorrow's video might be a little bit short and boring. But look, I'll be back tomorrow inevitably, because I always release a piece of content every single day. And until then, stay home, stay safe, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.